Hello, everybody. How are we all? Look who got let back into the country again. How are you, buddy?
I'm peachy keen and ducky fine, whatever the hell that means.
Yeah, okay. Whatever that means. A quick hello to everybody, and let's on here today. Where we got Trey Man. That was first. Sorry, buddy, no cookie this week. I'm debt broke. I'll explain why in a moment. Ray and Tammy and Ray, how are you? Dwight, nice to see you. Of course, I've got my good buddy here that's come back and clocked back on again. Oh.
Sorry. We're going to get your flag.
There we go. The channel's gone now.
I meant to have that playing, but you brought me up too soon.
No, it's all right, buddy. Richard, how are you, buddy? Nice to see you. Hope you're a lot warmer down there than I am up here. But then again, you're in Dapto. You're in a hole.
Hi,
g'day, Joe.
Thank you. Hey, Joe Raider. Thank you.
Robin, how are you? Hopefully it's warmer up there than down here.
Kyle.
Stormy Sky, hello, welcome, Kyle. Going down the list. And the other ones are coming in bit by bit. We've had one of those weeks again. Kiwi Dave, how are you, buddy? Hopefully you're okay over the other side of the ditch. Hopefully you're not going to get hit by those strong winds that we've just had here this week. Did say hi to Kyle, didn't I? Yeah, good day again, Kyle, if I didn't say hi to you. Yeah, so early in the week, I had my last of my 3 teeth taken out, so that was a bit sore. Ouch. So while you were away, all my teeth got removed. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate the gift.
Hey, I offered to do it for free, but you decided to pay a dentist.
Oh, I didn't pay for it, but had a bit of a mishap with the layout there. G'day, Ray. How are you?
Yeah, I saw your note. Unfortunately, I had family over, so I didn't catch the reply.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I had a man. You know the old saying. I mean, particularly those who are in mechanics or whatnot. You know when you're doing something. G'day, Mystic. How are you? You're doing something, and everything's going really well and really smooth. And you think to yourself, this is going way too well. There's got to be something here that's going to throw the spanner in the works to make the 5-minute job turn out to be a 2-3 hour job.
This is going too easy. What's waiting for me? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll show you let me get the picture up now so I can better explain what happened. Let me find the folder first. I'll bring that up. Yeah, it was enough to make you want to cry. Let's put it this way. Now, I had my layout up on the side. As you can see, this is just before she went over. I put the tortoise motors all in. They're all in the place. G'day, Daryl. How are you? It's on the bench, and it was a reasonably nice day. And I didn't like this so I can get to both sides of it. You know, you put your tortoise motors in and you want to see that you've got enough movement and adjustments or whatnot, so I can walk around the side of it. That was all good. then I come along. G'day, Lee. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Ian.
I've gone inside. I've got the wire harnesses that I pre-wired and whatnot, and plugged them all in. Started tidying. G'day, Mystic. Started tidying up all the wiring. Ready to zip tied into place and whatnot. So it's all nice and tidy. G'day, Les.
Hi, Liz.
Well, I just as I was ready to do. G'day, Connie. Just as I was about to do the last of the tidying up, and then I'm going to have to do the drop feeds into the plug, I dashed inside to get myself a cup of coffee and go to the bathroom. But I only just put the kettle on, and I hear this almighty crash, bang. Now, that thing there we had a little gust of wind, and it picked it up, and I didn't pick it up. It was just flipped it over, done a 360 off the table. And when I first looked at it, I thought, oh, it's only some track that I didn't tack in properly came off. Put it back up and started continuing on tidying up the wiring. And then I seen, as a lot of people that had done these tortoise motors, you got your wire that sticks out a little bit longer, and where you got to trim it down. Well, I left that because when I put these back up in their spot, I can see how far it's moved, if they are moving in the right direction. So it's easy for me to adjust. Well, when I looked at the turnouts and whatnot, I've got 4 of them that got damaged pretty badly. And the worst of them was the double slips, as everybody knows, regardless of what brand they are, they're not cheap. And that got damaged pretty bad. So I've got new track on order. It should be here Tuesday, hopefully. Monday, tomorrow, I'm going to race up into Sydney and pick up the double slip. It'd be quicker for me to go up there than getting it posted down. The turnouts have come from Newcastle, so I'm not driving 3 hours up there and 3 hours back. So, yeah, I was so excited. I thought, oh, beauty, these are done. The other section's sort of done. I can do the frame up on this weekend and bring it in out of the weather, and I can concentrate finishing off the roundhouse. Well, I've been working on the roundhouse now since that's fallen down, and I was that upset that I was just about ready to put everything on up for sale. Oh, you'll be down on the 8th. Oh, cool. All right, I'll get some more stuff done. I'll get some stuff sorted out, and you can give me a hand. But it's just hard to get. Let me stop sharing it. It's just hard when you got to do everything on your own. Ray Ron, how are you? When you're doing everything on your own, and the ones that are not working, to get them to come and give me just a little bit of helping hand, that always just seem to be too busy. Now, this has put me back 4 days because I was really hoping to get that up this weekend, the next couple of days, because we've got more bad weather coming. Tuesday, we've got 3 days of bad weather this week. I really want to get it going because I want to do the next stage. I want to get the continuous run worked on, but that's going to take a bit of time with carpentry and doing the bench work and cutting everything up and just putting it into place. I got 80% of the track. I don't have all the turnout motors, but I can go ahead and lay the track. And I want to get that done before my next surgery because I don't know if I mentioned to you, but no, you were away, but I'm going up for another surgery on the left shoulder. That's mid-August, late August. So I want to get it done so I can sit down and enjoy my layout. Okay, I'm not going to have the scenery done. I just want the tracks laid.
Mm-hmm.
And then while I'm recovering, I can I can put down where I'm going to make adjustments on the layout, because we all know when we're doing our track plan and layout. Yeah, I got it. Thank you, Tammy. You are. I'll tell you what, darling. You're an angel. You really are an angel. You didn't have to go to that extent. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I mean, when I get there in October, I really will make it up to you guys for what you guys, the support that you give, not just to me, to everybody in this community is amazing. I mean, you are a real angel. Yeah. So, the roundhouse. Oh, I'll have to take some photos of that. I'll pull that apart, and as I've taken it out of his spot, yeah, she just started to fall to pieces. The German. Oh, good. When he's finished, he can come down here. Yeah, I'll put him up. There's a green fat at the back. Mr. Ray, how that would be. I'll put him up. Look, he's more than welcome. I was close to giving up. I really was just close to giving up. It's like I had demons playing up here again this week. So, in the last few days hasn't been the best either. So, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. But when I got people like Tammy, yourself, and a lot of these other people here, I mean, we had me and Robin here. We had a good conversation on, I think it was Friday night. We were having a chat. Yeah, it was Friday night. Me and Robin had a good little chat. I mean, good little chat. I think it ended up being about 5-6 hour chat on the phone. Problem is with Robin, and we got Les here. They're too far away. They're way up north. I mean, Robin is a good 12-hour drive from me. It's like, yeah, it's a one way. Les is about past the halfway mark, but a bit further up towards closer to her. I know they will come and give me a hand, but the distance is not. Robin's going through her ordeal. Les is going through his ordeal. We all having a thing, but there are some around here that just, even when you pay what you wanted to pay them, they're too busy. So it's like, no, don't worry about it. I won't give up as yet, but I tell you what, I just feel like, no, that's enough. That's enough. I think some people can appreciate where I'm coming from. So anyway, enough about my crappy week. How was I see you had a very enjoyable trip without me.
Yeah.
Come on, we want the details. We want the dirty details.
Oh man, we could do another 24-hour live stream with that.
All right, let's go.
No, yeah. The only negative is doing my live stream last night and being here today and seeing names here. It's like, these are people, like some channels like Stormy Sky was just starting to discover, and I've gone a month without watching YouTube. And it's almost hard. It's been hard the last couple of days to try to get back into my rhythm of watching YouTube and resisting, because my normal attitude is if I take a couple of days off YouTube, I go back and watch everybody's channels and catch all the videos I missed. And there's just no way I can do. Joyce and I were in Germany for 28 days, and we did do our Friday live streams. Now, they were short because we were over in Europe and going to bed, and we were tired because several of those days we had hiked 5, 6, 7 miles, 8 miles in the mountains. And but
right, Chris.
There's just so many people. We just did not. I've lost touch with so many people, and this is only our third day. This is our third day back. But yeah, long story short, Joyce and I were in Germany for a month. We stayed 3 days in Hamburg, and we went to Miniature Wonderland again. And we were with Sean Ricard, who sometimes is here when he's not working late, because it is 2 a.m. in his world. Hey, Randall, Thomas Grassi, and Chris Govia, go home. Hi. But yeah, we were in Germany, and we weren't watching YouTube. We didn't watch TV. We weren't even on our cell phones much. The only thing we used our cell phone for was Google Maps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we started in Hamburg, and 3 days with Jean Ricard, which was amazing. Oh my God, it was so cool to hang out with Jean for 3 days. It was very tough when we had to party. He had to go home to Denmark, and we were heading down to Freiburg, which is in the southwestern corner of Germany.
Yeah.
And we hiked all around the Black Forest area down there. But while we were in Freiburg, we hit a model train shop, and I bought some stuff. Then from Freiburg, we went to Stuttgart. And while in Stuttgart, we went to Märklin, the big German company, the largest model train company in the world. We got to see the factory, and we got to see their big, massive exhibition layout called the Märklinaeum, along with the Märklin Toy Museum, which we haven't put any video out on that, but that was really cool. But seeing the Märklinaeum was awesome. And from there, we went down to Salzburg. And while we were in Salzburg, we went about 30 miles north and saw, actually, it's only about 19 miles north. We saw Hans Peter Porsche's Traumwerk Museum, which is his toy collection museum. Yeah. But it also has a giant model train layout in it. So we saw the big three, the biggest, Miniature Wonderland, and the next two biggest exhibition layouts in Germany, the Märklinaeum and Porsche's Traumwerk. And we posted videos about that. And we were going into shops. In Salzburg, we discovered a cool little shop called, translated to English, it's Grandma and Grandpa's Toy Shop. And what an amazing shop. Wonderful people there that ran it. Bought a ton of stuff there. And then while we were in Vienna, we went to this toy store called Bannert's, and they had an amazing train, Märklin train. And I bought a bunch of stuff there. And I just posted videos of all the stuff we bought. And I mean, to a lot of people, it can come across as like bragging, like, damn, you're rich. We weren't rich, but I had budgeted money for buying train stuff. And, some of this is blood money. Some of this trip is my retirement money. And some of this trip was money Joyce has inherited from the death of her brother. And this was the spend money, the money we say, let's just do something crazy. But we rode some amazing trains. I finally got to ride an actual railjet. I've been on them, but I've never ridden on one. But we rode a railjet, which was amazing. We all our trips in Germany were on an ICE-4, which, wow, those are nice and smooth and quiet, beautiful trains.
Did you manage to ride on my railjet?
No, I did not ride on your railjet. I rode on one that belonged to the government of Austria, Federal Railways, which was very similar to my model railjet.
You mean my railjet?
Okay. No. It's definitely my model railjet. I even have it. It's right over there. It's parked because I was. We also
hurry up, take that tunnel.
We rode an what's called an EC, a Eurocity, which is a high-speed train that's jointly run by all the nations of Europe, and then each country has its own design car. So we rode an Austrian EC from Stuttgart, Germany to Salzburg, Austria. And the last shop I went into actually had those cars, and I was running them on my live stream yesterday. I bought a bunch of these the exact cars Joyce and I rode in to Stuttgart. So it justified it. But we rode because while we're staying, like we were in Salzburg for 5 days, while we're there, we're going other places and we're riding trains to those places to visit. We call them day trips. And there's a whole bunch of trips. And Joyce is just going, And the worst thing is Joyce looks at stuff. That's a really cool looking train we just rode. That was a really cool looking train we rode. And then she catches herself and goes, "Are you going to buy it? Do we have to buy it now?" And I like one of them we wrote a couple of times that she really liked. I said, "No, I've had it on order for a year. I'm waiting for it to come in. We've already bought it."
Oh God!
But it was amazing the things we did, but we knew a large portion of it was going to be model train and model train related. I mean, we're not rail fanners. We did take a couple of videos of some trains in a couple of places. But
out of all, I mean, I was seeing bits and pieces. I mean, I'm still trying to catch up because I've been concentrating on getting on that module work. But the last one that you put on, the tail end of it, the Shinbus, the little one that you got, that one, that is my excuse me, g'day, Marty. That is my all-time favorite. That one.
This is all right. The thing is, we got home late Wednesday, and we were tired. And we had to get up early Thursday because I had construction crews coming in, putting in an expansion on our air conditioning system. And so while they were here, I had nothing to do. I came down in the basement and just said, I'm going to film some videos of 1, 2, 3 of train-related stuff from our trip to Germany. But this one itself, the video I put up, and I probably made the mistake of putting up 3 videos in a 24-hour period. But the last video, which is called Gifts from crap, my brain's gone. Not Hans. Oh my God, what was his name? I'm freezing now. You'll have to excuse me. But
it was where at the guy where you were staying at.
Yeah, he was the landlord. Horst, that's it. Horst Lange. Oh my God, that was an emotional ride, and I don't know how you can explain it, because I got double whammied with emotions. We left. I mean, the whole trip to Germany was beautiful. We're there for a month, but meeting Horst and all the conversations, meeting Jean Ricard. First of all, let's start there. Hanging out with him for 3 days and having to say good, but that was very emotional. We started with that, but we ended with this gentleman, Horst, and his just wanting to give me all of this stuff. It's yours, take it. Because his own phrase, translated from German, was, when I die, it will go in the garbage. When I die, it will go in the garbage. So it might as well go to somebody who might use it. And I mean, we bonded. Joyce, he and I bonded. I don't know. It's weird that how quickly Joyce and I do make friends with people. But he was willing to give me anything. And I was like, I need to pay you for this. And no, you don't pay me for this. And then the one thing that was probably worth some money. This is probably worth some money. I'd have to look and see what it goes, but it's not digital, but I'm going to keep it as a memento from him. But the story of how he had this amazing and beautiful layout, and then he had to tear it down and sell it when he moved into the apartment. And he sold off what he could, but he had a lot of stuff he either didn't want to sell or nobody bought when he sold off his layout 11 years ago. And this has been sitting in a basement, a cellar, or in German, a Keller, dank, musty, wet, hot, cold. And yet this particular one is just in amazing shape.
Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
I mean, and this is from the 1960s. I think it's a late 1960s model. Yeah. If I understand the code correctly, it was manufactured in 69 based on a molding from 1961. So it's a 50-some-year-old model. And of course,
Just-
that's not the oldest thing in the world.
Just to give you a heads up, and any of the viewers, if anyone sees one of them or a pair of them in silver, preferably 2-rail, I'm after one.
Yeah, and he had another one that wasn't in the box. He had a second one. Yeah. And he was encouraging me to pick something. I mean, we spent 2 hours going through this box in this dank, very smelly basement. And this one just drew my eye. And I was like, well, I will take this one. I said, how much do you want for it? He says, ik verschenke dir. I'm gifting it to you. It's yours. And he kept using the word colleague because he was a teacher. I was a teacher. We had already talked about my love of Märklin, and he loved Märklin and grew up with Märklin, of course, being German. And we are colleagues. We are colleagues. It's a gift to you. And it was so emotional because the joy in his eye of seeing these things going. And I only took a small percentage of what he had, and I did pay him for some of it, not directly. I left him a letter, and then I shoved some money and said, look, I can't just take all this. I've got to pay you something for it. And the problem is when somebody's trying to give you something as a gift and you say, I have to pay you for it, that can be insulting to that person. And so I have to explain in that letter, look, I know you were giving this to me for free, but I will feel better if I pay you for it.
Yeah.
If I give you something for it. He says, fine, you do what you think is right, but it's yours. And I had made a joke. I said, well, we could box this up and mail the whole thing to America. And Joyce looked at me like, you better not be serious. And he looked at me like, that's a hell of an idea. and so bringing back what I did, the stuff I bought, I can't run on my layout, but it became this bit where I took it as a memory of his old layout and our connection. It's a memory of Horst, keeping something from Horst alive. It's special. Yeah. Horst became very special to us very quickly.
Doom, 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 doom.
You're on camera, Liz.
Doom, doom, doom.
Okay.
He insisted.
G'day, Ryan. G'day, Liz. Doom, doom.
But
doom.
then,
where's the joy?
Hi. Kyan's got to come and say goodbye. I think he's going home.
Oh, you're going, buddy.
You want to come and say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Hey, Kyan.
Can you
How
wave
are
and
you,
say hi
buddy?
on the camera? Hi.
Hey, geez, you're grown up so quick.
Are you going home?
Yeah, they're getting ready to go.
Okay. Can I get a hug? The back hug. Okay.
Look at that. Oh,
Okay.
isn't it amazing?
I will see you
Grown up
on.
so much,
Well, actually,
buddy.
I'll see you tomorrow night because you're coming over for dinner tomorrow night too.
Oh, cool. Fantastic. What's for dinner? Bye, Kyan. Watch where you're walking.
That's where you're going. All right.
Yeah, be
Okay,
careful,
bye-bye.
buddy.
Bye-bye,
Bye-bye.
Andy.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So, that was already emotional. It was very tough to take this stuff, and the story behind it is just too deep, and you can catch the emotion in the video.
Now you have a rogue boy.
And then I got home.
Hi again.
Hi again.
Hi
Okay.
again.
Hi again. All right. Let Opa talk. Okay. And then the day we left for Germany, after we were on the plane and flying over to Germany, a box came from England, from the United Kingdom, from George, known as White Wall Wheels Hardcore MOH. He's been in here a couple of times, but he's relatively known. You seeing yourself there and there? You seeing Kyan there and Kyan over there? But anyhow, I got this box, so I didn't get to open it until, and I didn't open it the night I got back. I waited till Thursday and opened it, and I did that live video that you guys, well, some of you may have seen, and that blew me out of the water because those cars he sent me were not cheap. The set they come in is $200. Now, maybe he got it for cheap, but then to send it to the United States would not have been cheap. And he told me he sent me something before I left for Germany, but he didn't tell me what he sent. And then while I was in Germany, I talked to him and he said, "Did you ever get the box?" I said, "Well, the box came after we left."
Yeah.
And he says, "Well, do you want to know what's in it?" I said, No, it'll be a surprise. And so when I open it on camera, you guys can catch the holy crap reaction, because I'm just stunned, because I know the cost, and he already had 2 sets and he went and bought a 3rd set so he could send me the 2 cars. And that just, I was not expecting that when I opened the box live, so I didn't do the video live, but I filmed it live, and just, so that's my initial reaction. You can just hear the wind knocked out of me. I'm like, holy crap, this is special that somebody would send that to us. And, and then the hard part of this is I have tried to contact George for a week and a half, and I'm not getting any response. He has not been on YouTube for 2 weeks, and George is a man in his 70s.
Oh,
and I'm very, very concerned, which would make this gift very hard and even more emotional if the worst is the worst, because he has been out of touch for 2 weeks, and I usually get at least 2-3 emails from him a week. And I have heard now, hopefully maybe he just went somewhere on vacation for a couple of weeks, but I'm starting to really worry.
Hopefully it has, because it is summertime over there at the moment. Sorry, the director wanted to be on the main screen. He wants to focus on him.
Okay, you've said hi. You've said hi many, many, many times.
Yeah.
I think your mommy and daddy want to take you home and put you to bed, which is why you're down here.
Here's now the start of the show. Well, you got to make sure that Upa gives you another candy before you go home, so you don't sleep.
Oh, this dude was born on YouTube, man. He was on YouTube at 7 weeks old on Rick. Yeah,
he was. He's gonna take over after you and me gone.
You think he was in one of Lee's chats, Randall? That'd be good to hear. But like I said, he hasn't responded to any of my emails I've sent him the last week. And I haven't seen him anywhere in 2 weeks, so I will try to catch. Trains. Do you know how to start the trains? Yeah.
There you go. Oh, yeah, I know how to start it. Okay, well, he'll show you how to start it.
Now, there's only one train going right now. I turned the others off. But, yeah. There's one going. Well, you want the other one? Well, why'd you stop it? All right, we're not going to play start. So you were trying to make the other train go. I'll make the other train go. No, he's going. You just want this one to go now. All right, there. Now the people might see one of them going in the background and see that you actually know how to turn on my trains. There it goes. See, it's going right there. Can you see it right there?
That is a happy Vegemite, a little Vegemite now. Oh, he's got 2 trains going. Good on you. You're better than your Upa.
Oh, all 3 of them right there.
We got 3 going, and the Upa says he only get you can only get one going. Yeah, that one looks like right.
Yeah, they're watching them go.
Yep.
What's that? Okay. All right. I hear your mommy. I think she wants you to come upstairs. Give me a hug. Bye-bye.
This is more fun.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Again.
No, we're not going again. You got to get going. You get upstairs. Actually,
love
have somebody help you.
Bye-bye.
I want to make sure he gets upstairs. Yeah, Kyan is just spelled with an H. Khian. So
bye-bye, Kyan. Have fun.
Okay. Hey guys, he's coming upstairs.
I mean that is one amazing kid. I tell you what. Watching him grow on YouTube coming around there is just amazing. I mean, and it's nice that it's great that he's got the advantage to actually learn something from us, and especially from his grandfather and whatnot. I mean, it's great. And seeing the excitement in a kid's eyes like that is just amazing.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things I put in a video 4 years ago when I talked about getting kids into the hobby, as new into the hobby myself, which is, too often we have our very expensive locomotives, we have our very expensive stuff, and the kids go near it, we go, no, 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 and we scare them off. And they're like, okay, that's bad, that's no. And so I always make sure I have something he can touch and play with while he's down here. And I do let him turn the system on. He knows how to operate the analog UK stuff that I have on the floor behind me. So he can go right over and turn it on. He knows to adjust the speed. He does faster, faster. And that's the biggest problem, is he likes to go faster, faster, faster. And it's like, no, Cayenne, don't crank it up that far.
When I was living down the airport, down the hangar here, and done the big module to raise money for the organisation, there was these two kids, brilliant kids they were, and they were from one of the volunteers, and they were really into my trains but they want to do something little. They said, oh, it'd be good if we can drive the trains itself. And I go, well, I'll tell you what, why don't we make one where you can do what we had in some of the clubs there? You drive. You guys make the layout and you drive the train, or you get the kids to drive the train, or whatever money you raise, it goes to the organisation. They love the idea. I was lucky enough, the local hobby shop had one already built up, but they had very basic scenery, and go, there you guys go, do what you want with it. You know what? The little buggers took it. They made money out of it. They really did make money out of it. And every 2 weeks we used to open up, after the air shows were over, we open up the hangar and they come inside, and they were having a ball with it. They end up getting a few bits and pieces of trains and pull it down, and off they go. Ray, with the analog ones, you can't really adjust the CVs in it.
Well, the thing is, when he cranks it up too fast, it scares him, so he learns not to crank it too fast.
Yeah. But mind you, you could put a resistor to reduce the amount of power that goes into the track. You could do that.
Well, I mean, he's got things he can, I let him touch the trains like that are up on the shelves, and that I'll pick them up and teach him. He can touch it, but not to grab it.
Yeah.
I don't let him touch anything that's running on the table or the floor, but he's allowed to control the speed. And he's only 2 years old. 2.5.
He's still well for a 2-year-old. I mean, he's got.
I don't know. I mean, there are 2-year-olds playing violins. It's. But the thing is,
start teaching him.
Somebody's got to teach me before I can teach him to play a violin. But the idea is, I'm trying not to put a negative. I don't want him associating a negative with it. There are times, no, don't touch Cayenne. Come over here and do this. But on my hand controllers that are at his height, he already knows. Bye, honey. We'll see you tomorrow, right? Tuesday, not coming tomorrow. Okay. But anyhow, he knows which buttons operate the horns, and he's allowed to press the buttons on the functions, the little, he can do that. So he likes to walk over and he loves to push all the buttons. Now, some of them only turn on functions that he doesn't understand what it's doing, but he just assumes every button will make a sound or something, or turn on the lights, because he also likes to turn the lights on.
I've got to finish watching your videos.
Did I just see somebody say hi, Jean Ricard? Jean Ricard is here.
Jean Ricard? Yeah, did I miss him? G'day,
Oh,
Jean.
there it is.
Oh, yeah, you got to. G'day, Jean. How are you,
Hey,
buddy?
John.
You're up early?
So the thing is, we did have there's been a couple of big train collection. Because, I brought home a lot of stuff. I spent more on trains in the last month than I did in the previous 7 months. And I've spent money on trains over the last year. But I had a budget, and I probably
So you spent your yearly budget on your trains now, have you?
Well, I had a budget for this trip, and I set myself a good budget so that if I wanted to buy anything, whatever I was looking for, like, oh, here's something I've been looking for, I'm not even asking the price. It's there.
Yeah.
But the trip was great. We did a lot of great things. We got caught in a heat wave in Vienna, which was hard because Vienna is a big city. And the apartment we were in only had windows facing one way, so you weren't getting a lot of air draft, and it was in the 90s, so mid 30s Celsius, mid upper 30s Celsius, because I think we got as high as 95 one day, 95 Fahrenheit. So that's what, about 35, 36 Celsius?
About 35, yeah.
But he had a portable air conditioner that he rolled out and gave us and said, here, use this. And it did the trick. It made it where we could sleep at night because we didn't care during the day because we're not in the apartment in the day. We're out in the town.
Yeah. The reason why I'm after a silver one, I might have to get a red one and just pound up in silver. It takes me back to my childhood.
Okay.
From when I was in Europe, when I was 10, the first time when I was in Europe. Because in former Yugoslavia, they had them everywhere as a local commuter rail service. They run them 1 or 2 in pairs or 4 cars set up, depending on the time of the day.
This is water, by the way.
Yeah, okay, we believe you. Even though others won't, but yeah.
I had so much beer in Germany. But anyhow, finish your story.
Yeah. So that's why I fell in love with them. And the thing was, compared to the American trains and Australian trains, except for our rail motors, you never see the driver driving the train. Or in America, they call them engineers. You never see them controlling the train. But in them, they're like a bus. They're literally a bus. And the controls are in the middle. And you can actually see the guy driving it. And the ones that I saw, they actually had gears in them, which was which was quite amazing. But I enjoyed it. I have seen with that chap that's south from where my mum comes from. I see they're redoing the tracks and doing up a lot of tracks. And he's finding out now whether they're going to redo the line all the way up to my mum's town. If they do, that's going to be a very nice trip. And they're using the bigger version of those, the Shinbus, we can actually translate in English as rail bus.
Mm-hmm.
So they got a longer version that they actually decommissioned from the electric lines and put it on the diesel line now. They're basically double or triple the length of those. But Auntie and I, we used to jump in one of those trains and go to the nearest main town centre to get some ice cream and do some shopping and come back again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I said, the sad thing is he had another one identical to this, wasn't as good a shape, and didn't have the box for it. But this was the one one of the first things he pulled out were some of these old wagons here. And and these are all metal. I mean, this is all metal. The only plastic on here is the bogie holding the wheels, but otherwise it is all metal. And I just loved them as a toy collector. It wasn't even as a model train guy. Just for years, I was a toy collector, and just just the solidness of it, the they're old, which attracts me when it comes to toys, age, and just the history behind them. And it just, it was hard. I don't know how to explain the emotions there, and I'm sure a lot of people think, I'm being overly dramatic about it, but it was what was going on there. It was like this guy for minutes finally found the son or the grandson that he had missed all his life, and he's, I would assume he's 10 years older than me, maybe 12 years older than me, but just finally, that. And he's got model train friends. He referred to a couple of guys. Oh, this is one of my old model train friends. And I think he still goes to hang out with some of these guys and goes and watch them run their trains. But you could just see as we were looking at this and he's talking about them, you could see him remembering these running around his old layout. And he talked about he had a big layout and it was really nicely done. And he had some stuff that I thought was worth collectible money.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, I just think needed to be cleaned up, maybe oiled up, and somebody out there would want them. And Joyce would have been like, Joyce even said, whatever you want to take, whatever you want to pay him, pay it, but we can't take it all. Although she also said, I wonder, I think she said yesterday, Joyce said, if you wanted to contact him and tell him to box it all up and ship it here and we would pay for it, you could do it. Because Joyce also caught this the last day we met him when he took us to the, we were getting ready to leave and he came up and says, do you have a taxi to get to the train station? No, he says, I'll drive you. It's like, no, we'll walk. It's 10, 15 minutes. We'll walk. No, I will drive you. And it's just so he could talk to us more. And, Joyce was catching on as we kept talking trains. And I think it hit Joyce, too, that she was like, we can't build a museum to horse memory, but it was just something. It was one of those, I guess you had to be there to get it, just to get that.
Well,
the thought that these things might
Pixar's already in training and digging a tunnel and just making things bigger outside. She's already practiced, so we can still work on that expansion of the basement, mate.
But yeah, Joyce was getting too, because like I said, she turned around yesterday and said maybe you could tell him that we'd pay for shipping and he could box it up and send it over here.
Just a question for you. He wouldn't happen to have your home address by any chance, would he?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be surprised if he's already packed it up and put it in the mail and sent it over to you.
I would be surprised. But it would be an amazing thing if he did, because we did talk about that.
Hello, Joyce.
Hi, Artie.
You would think that the guy sitting next to me here would at least get the laundry out and do it for you.
I've cooked and done the dishes.
Okay, we are.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, just bear with me for a couple of minutes. I'll be back.
Okay. You're going to leave me on the show. So anyhow, I haven't seen any of you people in a month. How are you all doing? Everybody's saying hi to you in type. I already didn't post a link, so he's back already. There we go.
I'm back. Okay,
I could spend another 5 hours talking about Germany, but like I said, it's just a couple of emotional bits. Well, thank you, Robin.
It's a shame I couldn't get over there, but I mean, somewhere down in the future we probably will get together over in Europe and have a bit of a. Mind you, you and me get together and Jean Ricard get the whole three of us or four of us get together. They'll blacklist us in Europe.
Right. Well, yeah. The thing is, a couple of people talk about we shared our experience. That this is just something I've always done, like on Facebook. From the first time I traveled abroad. I had friends and family that have never been there, and we just send pictures. This is where we are. This is what we've done. You know, we share it on Facebook because 90% of my Facebook friends are family and former students, and we just, you know, so we put it up there. And again, other, you know, it's a tough situation because I'm always very aware that it can look like you're bragging. It can look like you're, you know, look how rich I am. I'm traveling or whatever. Or
Hey guys,
that we really are.
Right.
Hey, here's a cool thing we saw, or look at this beautiful place. Just like people who go to Florida and take pictures of the ocean, or people who go to Hawaii, and you know, we just put it out there, and people can look or not look.
It's a shame that you get those stereotypes that carry on and say, "Oh, look, they're rich," you know.
They're all popping in. Richard,
Yeah.
hey Richard, John, how are you? Randall is here.
G'day, John. G'day, John. G'day, Richard. It's just a shame. A lot of us
hey Richard, hey John.
save a lot of money to go on those trips, but then you get those
Hi, Randall.
sports that
Hey, what's happening?
kids are all rich and throwing
You
things
put that
around.
link up and everybody's in.
Oh, jeez. Oh, there you
Hold
go.
that up again, Richard. I'm sorry, I should say please and thank you. Oh, that's cool.
Did you get it
Chris will
going?
like that one, Richard.
It's another chassis, but I have made progress with this one. I've got to modify underneath it because it's not picking up power too well. So, yeah,
It's not
after a
picking
bit
up
of
power.
frustration with it, it will go.
Hey Richard, if there's a weight you can put on those engines. My BN ones have that on it, and I think the one Cox engine I got that Ather made has that. But you can put they have this weighting stick on them. I don't know if you can still buy it or not, but
I've got that.
that's how they make the superpower. Yeah, that one right there.
Yeah. So the problem is this was a dummy chassis,
Mm-hmm.
and let's see. I'll show you what I mean. The power chassis that I had, someone modified it and took the coupling mounts off it. So I changed it.
Was it me?
No. So I put a new chassis on it, which I had, which is a dummy chassis. But see underneath, maybe if you can see there,
Yeah.
they've actually been machined down.
Oh,
Yeah, right. And whereas this chassis hasn't, and that's what I found. So I've got to machine the chassis. I've got to machine it down a bit so it picks up power better.
Okay.
Okay.
Tammy, good night. Thank you very much. And
All right. Good night,
Good.
Tammy and Ray in the background. Take care.
yeah. Good night, Mom and Son.
we'll talk soon, darling.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a nightmare project, like what I been going through, like what Artie's going through. Like, why the hell isn't it working?
Yeah, but at least yours didn't fall over and cost you an extra. What is it? 1, 2, 3, close to another $300.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, well, I put new wheels on it, and the wheels kept shorting out. So I had to put basically all the new parts I put on. I had to replace it with the older parts, so it wouldn't short
Thank your
out.
brother for it.
Hey?
The things that you do for your brother.
Oh, I know. It's But anyway, it's running again. It's got a bit extra detail on it. It's even got the bell.
Yeah, good looking
Yeah.
engine.
Canadian, eh? Not bad for a therm blue box.
Yeah, I figured the minute you showed that via, Chris would chime in. He's the via rail man.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the color scheme, so
Yeah, it's a great looking engine.
yeah. For what it is. Like, you compare it to a Rapido though, and like, yeah, Rapido just shits all over it, but you know.
If I had the space, I probably did. I still got a couple of VIA stuff here that I'm doing exchange with Richard's brother. G'day, Robin. How are you, darling? Then I'm going to be exchanging some more VIA stuff for Amtrak stuff. once I get into the storage. Because I don't have enough as the VIA train. Yeah. What's that one?
Canadian National. That's sharp too. In fact, I like that one even more than the Via. Sorry, Chris, but that's just a gorgeous looking.
Actually, yeah, my brother just picked that one up the other day, and I'm looking at. I want to keep it original. I don't want to modify it too much. So,
What's that original? What? Athern or the original color scheme?
Original Athern, yeah.
Oh, you can tell if it's original Athern. Give us a look. It shows, yeah, that'll be one of the original ones. It shows the back.
Yeah, it's definitely original.
Yeah, it's original.
And it's in good condition too.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well, give you something to do when you've got nothing to do.
I've always got something to do, unfortunately.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, yeah. But yeah, I mean, you're doing what, afternoon shifts now?
Yep.
Oh, at least you don't have to put up with peak hour traffic going up in the morning and peak hour traffic coming home at nights and.
It's good. It's good and bad. Put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't mind doing the shifts that I did because they were like in the morning starts, and I mean towards the later in the afternoon, like it used to be about 5, 6 o'clock, and we finished off by about 11, 12 o'clock at night. So, g'day closet branch, how are you, bud?
Yeah.
It was a good time. It was a really good time, you know. So, particularly when you're at home by yourself, I mean, at least it passes your time, and that's the period that everybody tends to get together a lot as well, don't they? You know.
Yeah, it does.
This young lady down here, she's working on a good project. Hopefully, she'll be able to show it to us soon. She's been working on some high rises. She's been putting together the buildings of the World Trade Center. I've seen the photos on her on Facebook. She has shared it on my channel's Facebook page. You can actually go in there and have a look. She's actually done amazing modeling, created the model of the World Trade Center, some of the high rises there. So how are you doing there, Robin?
It's not accurate, but it's yeah, we're getting there.
It's all right. We're not gonna get the verniers and the tape measures.
The model should be about 2.5 meters, and they're only about 1 meter. But when you put them up on the layout, which is about 1 meter off the ground, they actually tower over you. So they're reasonably impressive.
Right.
But I was going to try and light them, but when I started looking into it and using acrylics, and it was starting to get too heavy. So I thought, I'm not going to be able to handle that at a show. I've got a lot more to do. There's another tower underway now, so it takes time.
Yeah.
You still after some left-hand points, small ones, Sardi?
Yes. Yeah.
Hang on a sec. Yeah. How many you need?
Colin Hayes.
3.
3.
3.
I might have 2 you can have.
Okay, that'd be good. They'll be able to get one side of it done.
I'll have a look today. Actually, I've got to duck off now, actually. So I'm sorry I can't stay for too long. But, yeah. How are you, Anthony?
I'm great. Tired, but great.
Sound like you had a good trip.
It was awesome. It was overwhelming, but in a good way, because we did a lot. We packed multiple vacations into one. We made up for 3 years of not going to Germany in one trip.
Sounds good. Yeah. Anyway, sorry to cut it short, guys. I've got to get going. But I'll give you a call later, Rody.
Yeah, just send me a text message if you can, bud. I'll probably be here another half an hour or so, but
I'll try and drop them off the servo sometime. Yeah.
yeah, or I can pop down and pick them up myself. Get me out of the house.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't stay and chat, guys.
All right.
Okay, buddy. Catch
Oh,
you
good
later.
to see you, Richard.
Yeah.
Nice to see you, buddy.
Yeah,
Take it
see you
easy.
later.
Take it easy, guys.
Okay, Joe, David, good night, mate.
All
Thanks
right,
for
Joe
popping
Raider,
in.
good night. Take care.
Yeah, it must be summertime. Let me. Here's some of the
Oh, goodness.
Wow.
That's mine.
Did you think so?
Ah,
Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Oh,
That's you, mate.
where did it go? Where did it go? Ah,
Wow. That's amazing, Robin. You're
yeah,
awesome.
let me do that again. Hang on, let me get it again. I messed up here. There you guys go. That's her. Why is that going like that? That's not what I want. There you go. That's her creation.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's all in N scale.
Oh,
And I've still got to do the top of the tower and the communication tower that goes on the top of that one. But yeah, it's coming along. And the new layout that I'm building, which I'm hoping to exhibit around August. November. It's going to be called City Central, so it's going to be all mostly skyscrapers and modern buildings, and a whole heap of the smaller buildings like I've got at the front. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Wow.
think you could fit an HO version in the house, Marty.
Don't think that's going to happen, Marty. Oh, dear.
Marty, 2 meters is already 6 foot. I mean, at least Anthony can go up the top and put the communication tower up on top. But
No.
I think when I scaled this up, it was going to be 2.5 meters high and about 500 millimeters square at the bottom. So it's about 20 inches by just over 8 feet.
yeah,
Which is just it's incredible. So yeah, there's a bit of a compromise.
yeah, you wouldn't be able to fit it in the house. But I'll tell you what, it will look good down at Cottingen's green in Canberra, though.
Oh, if you did the full size one, yeah.
Oh, wouldn't it ever? Yeah, it'll dwarf the Parliament House. And that's an HO scale.
Oh my goodness. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a bit of a journey trying to find all the information about it, because every time you put in original World Trade Center, it always keeps going back to 9/11. So it's trying to get a bit of research on the top part. That design on the top has been a bit awkward, but yeah, it's a representation. It's not 100% accurate, but yeah, it's got the look of it. And it surprised me that the windows are only like in the real building are only like 18 inches wide, which is really, really narrow. Yeah, that was a big surprise, actually.
Yeah, but I mean, there's still that there. Let me see. Yeah, she's got her own Facebook page and her own channel, but you ought to be able to see some of the other photos. Let me just try to dig it up on my Facebook page for this channel.
I will try and get some of these up on the YouTube channel eventually, but yeah, I've got a lot on my plate at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to sort out a lot of things from Billy's passing. So
all in good time. All in good time.
yeah,
So
I know.
that's the my channel's group Facebook page. So if anybody wants to have a look at it, it's there. And you can actually go to her Facebook page and you see a bit more photos of what she has created. I mean, she does some actually amazing models. I mean, you have a look at those Let me see if I can actually zoom in. I mean, look at the structures actually it's got down here at the bottom.
Goodness.
Right, that's all the work that she creates, and you can actually zoom in. Actually, those pillars and everything else on the tower is actually quite good. Look at that. Yeah, that's pretty good. That. Yeah. At least you got something to do. Yeah. At least
I
you
like
got.
the bottle shop because it's got interior detail and it's got racks with all the bottles on it, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Are they full bottles or empty bottles?
Yeah, no, they're all pretty full. There's lots of people in there buying stuff.
Yeah. Good thing is you can still drink those ones, and you don't have to worry about getting done for DUI.
Yeah, some of those models are cardboard, some of them are styrene. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, Hoyo's team, she has actually done some other models as well. I mean, go and check out her Facebook page and you see, you don't want to see my ugly mug face. Get my ugly mug face out of there. Even with her constructing the layouts and the time frame that she does, I mean, she does do some incredible work with it, and yeah, very, very, very nicely done. Very nicely done. At least it doesn't bounce off the concrete and does somersaults off the table like my layout does. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
I'll get on top of it. I've just got a notification that funny that this happened. I just got a notification from Joe Sheila Hobbies, one of my now I've gone blank. Thanks, Anthony. You just got my brain to go dead. My pre-orders from last year has arrived, so stop that, go away, go. One of my pre-orders has come in, so I'll pick that up, as well as me picking up the double slip on Monday or tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday, isn't it? Tomorrow morning I'll have to go up there and get that, so it won't be a wasted trip. It's like the someone's been saying, yeah, your packages are right. By the way, when you get up there, you're gonna have to spend a bit more money. Yeah.
How much was the double slip?
120.
Oh my goodness.
Right, that's just around. Figured it's 118, 119. I was going to get it from Frontline Hobbies because I was able to get it into ZipPay, but they didn't have any in stock. So I'll go up to Joe to see Joe, and I'll get it off him. It'll be good if I get off. Once I get it, I'll go up, pick it up, come home, and I can quickly swap everything over except for the draft feeds. I want to do the draft feeds, so I really want to push to get that done on Tuesday because the weather turns Tuesday night, Thursday. I want to have it all split up and put under cover so it's out the weather. Yeah, but the thing was, Ray, it wasn't in it when I worked on it. The storm has passed, and it was just a slight breeze that came through and knocked it over. And no, I didn't pass wind when it did fall over. It was actually Mother Nature that did it for me. And yeah, it was heartbreaking. It really was. It's like it was almost done. That's the whole thing. It just had to be put into place. Yes, please. So anyway, it's as the story goes. When something goes way too well, you got to stop and walk away from it for a few hours. Otherwise, something's going to happen really badly, which it did. Once I get that into place, I'll go after the show. I'm going to go finish doing the rain house. Actually, that's been an interesting one. It's amazing how, even though I try to keep the room clean, the layout clean, it's amazing how much dust accumulates around the corners of your layout. Like at the moment, I've got an imprint of where the roundhouse was with all the dust in the corners.
Mhm.
So at least I know where to put it back. I've got to fill in. I will need to excuse me, cover up one of the holes that I'm not going to need anymore. But that's going to be worked in. That's going to be worked in this week because I've got to finalise that corner. Then the two modules go up on top, wire it up, and hopefully, if everything goes well, hopefully have the Sun Trains running at the next weekend's show. Then I can start working on the main section. So, what have you been up to, John? John, I bet you've been spending up a lot of money again.
Yep. I spent $1. I got one caboose, and I bought a book.
$1. Yeah, a book.
Yep. Can you see that highball?
Yeah.
It's got steam engine on it. Yeah, I went to train show out at Paynesville, and it was a really bad show because of the weather, but I did good. So I hate to see what it's going to be like when I go to a good show.
Yeah.
Me and my grandson went out there, spent the night, and sold stuff and filmed trains all day, all weekend, actually.
Right.
I posted, I don't know, about 7 videos, but I had fun. I had a lot of fun. The next show I'm planning on going to is Van Wert.
Right.
So,
Do you get to many shows, Anthony? Is there any shows around where you are, or?
Well, actually, John lives in the same town I do. He just goes further. Because I collect German trains, it's usually not worth going to shows. But I go to the local big show here in Toledo, Ohio. And the last 2 years, I've live streamed from it. It's actually turned into quite a good show.
Okay.
But
And how long did it take to build your layout? Because you got 2 layouts there, haven't you?
It's taken no time to build my layout because I haven't built one yet. No, I have a big table here, but I don't call it a layout because I don't really have anything on it. I just have track down and just a bunch of buildings scattered around to try to make it look like something.
It is a layout. Shut up.
It is. It's a layout. I know. I just would like to get something more complete on it. But this particular version took me to get this far. Took me about 10 days.
Oh, crikey!
Don't crikey me! You just built the World Trade Center in N scale.
Oh dear.
I am now. It was 10 days of 8 hours, but when I'm building something, first of all, I did design the track layout, bought all the track. But I just built the wooden frames, the baseboards as people call it. I built the wooden frames, the boxes, and then I had the pieces cut for the wood and all of that, and then just assembling it, gluing the foam board down, and then putting the track on top of the foam board. Yeah, that was probably, this particular version was 10 days. I actually have videos of it from a few years ago on my channel when I did. The problem is I haven't done anything on it in 2-3 years, other than bought a couple more buildings and added in some 3D.
Well, you haven't been home. You haven't really been home, have you?
I've been home. I'm just lazy. Because the biggest thing is there's 2 things that, besides laziness that affect me. I have been trying to sort out this Fowler car system for 2 years because I'm trying to do something special with it. And I can't progress on the Delmenhorst side of my layout until I sort out exactly how I'm going to do the Fowler car system. And I'm going to be on attempt 6 or 7. Hopefully within by the end of July, I'll start working on my new hybrid course, because it's going to be either the
This
Fowler car
July or next July?
July of 2023. I'll go on record and say that.
Oh, now you done it.
And I did say hopefully, so I left room to lazy out of it.
Well, it is
I
a
am,
second of
I am in
July.
the middle of a home remodel job again. I'm about halfway done with our bedroom.
Yeah.
But the other thing that holds me back is there's one particular building from the city of Delmenhorst that has to be on my layout, and I'm not good enough a 3D designer to design it myself, and I need it. It's the Delmenhorst City Hall and Water Tower complex. And I have even said I would pay somebody up to $500 to 3D design it for me, because I can't do it. It's got some really complex nuances. And there was a kid from Germany who, for an architectural class in Germany, actually designed a 3D image of this whole part of Delmenhorst that I want to recreate, which means he had the measurements, and all he'd have to do is send me the measurements, and then I could scale it down or scale it up to a 3D print. He did it as a 3D design. I just would have to convert it to the STL code and then the G code to make it 3D printable. And I've contacted the person 3 times and said, look, I will pay you for your design. You did this for a class, but it's exactly what I need. And they never respond.
So why is it so complex?
Well, it's complex for me to do. It's just, it's a series of buildings that started as one building, and then they added another little angle, and another little angle. And I'm not graphic computer oriented enough to get those nuances in. And I really want it to be exact, because everything else I've done for Delmenhorst, like the train station from Delmenhorst, because this is a real town, my train station, which is and the bus center in front of the train station, those were the last things I ever fully scratch built, and I'm damn proud of them. My Delmenhorst station is 100% scale and design accurate to the actual Delmenhorst station, and the bus center is about 95% accurate. And I just need the town hall, and then I can fudge everything else.
Be interesting to see how big it is. How do you spell it? How do you spell a name?
DELMENHORST.
Okay.
Delmenhorst. Delmenhorst.
Yeah.
And it's a nice looking town hall, or Rathaus as they call it in German. But it's just got all, like, even the roof is a little weird and in the way it fits together, because it's not, the building looks, what's the word I'm looking for? Like mirror image. The 2 wings look mirrored image, but the roof is different on both sides. The roof I actually probably could do, but I'm just not a 3D design person. I never learned that aspect of computer graphic design.
Okay. Yeah, I've just found a website with a picture of it, because it's a long-term project because it's not so important, but I've started building Neuschwanstein Castle.
Right.
And even that, in small scale, takes up a lot of room.
Yeah.
It's quite massive, you know.
Wanted to show that to Ray, because Ray runs on here. This is my Santa Fe brass I bought down in Columbus 2 weeks ago.
Good engine.
Yeah. It's got a DCC in it.
Oh,
I
wow.
bought it for $75, and you can see
Nice.
The NSS still has a few of those running around.
it's all brass. It's heavy, and I got the original box and the motor. I know I showed it a couple weeks ago to you guys, but I was just showing it so Ray Ron could see it, because I always chat with him in his room, and I can't come up and show him stuff.
So what we need to do is, if there's anyone that ever wants to go and get a good buy or whatnot of a train or trains or whatnot, take John with you.
Yeah, I'm going train shopping with John now.
Yeah.
Actually, take one of my grandkids. They get the deals. I took him to Cleveland last year, and he won a KD box car, and those box cars are like $50.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
got him in the gate, and he won that first thing right off the bat.
Right.
I did get a good deal though. It's up front in the house, but the guy at Painesville gave me a Digitrax controller. Now it don't have a cord, so I got to find the cord. But he had $25 on it, and then priced it on like eBay. They want $175 for him used. So he gave it to me for free. So that was a good deal.
Does it work?
I don't know yet. I'm gonna take it down to Fostoria and have him look at it, to my train club. And then the train club, they just blew up their DCC system. So now we're going to have to do a fundraiser or something so he can get a new system. But it's a bad month for all of us because we got to pay our house taxes this month.
Yeah. Hang on a minute, guys. Hang on.
So what's new with you, Randall, besides the heat wave?
Not much, Anthony. Just been taking care of some family issues right now, and work's kind of slowed down quite a bit, so there ain't been much train buying going on. So when they ended the long pull cruise here at Thayer, it's absolutely killed our long haul trips. So
What's a heat wave?
It's
106. It was 106 yesterday, 103 the day before, and then you got to add the humidity to that.
Send half of that heat over here, because people like Robin over here is freezing.
But that's to go back and talk about the trip to Germany again. That's one of the weirdest things. Like, I go months on YouTube and everything's the same. This is happening here. The 1 month I go away and I'm not on YouTube, Heath is leaving Sidetrack Sunday. You had your board disaster here this week.
Nancy. Yeah.
Things have happened with Randall. All these things have happened to people, and I've been completely out of touch. And it's like you can go weeks and weeks where
nothing happens.
Nothing happens. And the 1 month I'm out of touch with the world, the people I follow, all these weird things are happening. I caught up with it. Somebody emailed me and said, "Did you see Heath is leaving Sidetrack Sunday?" I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, that's shocking. I didn't know he was leaving. I saw the notification where he said goodbye, and I thought well, he's tearing down his layout and building a new one. I didn't think he was actually leaving Sidetrack Sunday.
Yeah, I guess he's no longer going to be a regular. He'll occasionally do shows, but that's where half of them are. Jason will occasionally do a show, but I don't think Jason's done a show since he announced he will occasionally do a show. And they had that team together for a couple of years, and all of a sudden life is happening, I guess. And
Marty, that is not cold, 18 degrees. That's actually quite nice. Probably about 11 degrees. That is cold. With the wind blowing at 5 degrees.
Yeah, I'm with you, Marty. I'm glad I don't have a camera because everyone would laugh at me rugged up in a blanket and a jacket
Yeah, it's probably about 24 degrees.
Yeah, well,
and sneezing. I have to keep
started
muting.
themselves on fire so we could warm up down here.
Uh,
We got the smog from Canada coming down, so you got like smog every time you go out the door.
I saw that on TV. That's terrible. Those fires, isn't it?
Yeah, Joyce.
Oh.
Oh my God, Joyce has bad asthma, and you know we're in the mountains of Germany, and the air's so clear and pure. And we came back to the smoke from the Canadian wildfires. And the first day we were back, it was so thick in Detroit. Joyce, just from going off the plane into the airport, had to use a rescue inhaler because it was so bad up in Detroit.
Yeah, I don't have that problem, but I've got the sneezes, so every so often I have to keep muting because you don't want to be hearing me sneeze. But you're right, though. I've lived through 2 terrible fires in Sydney when I was living down there. One on the south coast where you are, Artie.
Yep.
And the other one up on the north side, which was really frightening.
Well, that last one that we
And it was in the backyard of one of the places where I was living. My God.
Yeah, that last one that we had there when you were down in here, that was actually lit up by a volunteer firefighter.
Those weren't the Ash Wednesday bushfires, were they?
No, there was
So look, this guy, he's rugged up and he's at 18 degrees. Now, I'm at 14 degrees. I just got this.
I'm freezing. I'm about to put the heater on, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, that one was actually lit, and there's a few others, but that one was actually lit by a volunteer firefighter. And the thing was, they knew it was deliberately lit because the fire ended up starting up again in one of the spots 2 times.
That was in the national park.
Yeah. There was a bit of a running joke at the time with it. Because you remember with Wayne, Robin, we were doing the fire trails up around Bundina because Bundina was getting a new sewer system in. And we got an influx of wild deer. And there's plans of... Ooh, okay. You could do that.
I got a stack of... Oh, okay. They're from B&O, but they're the floor pans, the different cars, and it's double-sided. I got these when I went to the auction, and these were in the box of the train stuff I bought.
I'll just finish that off. And the thing was, we got a problem with wild deer. And of course, deer is not a native animal in Australia. And we got them running rampant up in the national park. And there's a couple of guys there that we were talking to because we were doing the fire trails, fixing them all up with the spoil that was being done from the excavation of the sewer system. And because we got very tough gun laws, so they couldn't go up in the national park because to do any culling or whatnot. Because the national park would release. G'day, New Ferris. How are you? We comically turned around and said, "Oh, what did you do?" He said, "You can't shoot. Did you start the bushfire up?" Yeah, that's when we found out it wasn't. That the bushfire was actually deliberately lit, and there was a fair few of them that were deliberately lit. The last one in 2019, all but I think 2 or 3 bushfires on the east coast. Only 2 were natural cause. The rest were deliberately lit. Canada, I remember when the fires from Australia reached New Zealand for you. Yes, yeah, that was in 2019, 2020, but we had fires basically up from north and basically from south to me. I'll actually I've got photos here. I will actually show you the kind of smoke that we had just in my area from the smoke from up around Thilme and from down the far south coast because it all comes up through here and the sky was brown, well, like a tanny brown colour.
I lived in Melbourne in '83. We lived in Ferntree Gully when Ash Wednesday went through the Dandenongs through the ranges there. And I remember we had a dust storm come through as well. And I remember when I left work, I got to the car and I had a little Mark II Escort at that time. And I remember by the time I got out onto Springvale Road, I couldn't see the end of the bonnet for the dust.
Well, hey, Terry, at Little History, you're up later, up early.
Yeah, Terry, how are you? Welcome. Yeah.
Have they got those Canadian bushfires under control yet, or are they still going?
I believe they have, because they must have been, because some of our guys from Illawarra have come back already, so they must be getting it contained or something.
Hasn't been any more on the news.
But the fires that they got burning up there is exactly the same as what was burning down south of us here in Victoria. It's in a remote area, and they can't get to it. They can't access it. They can't even access by road. I'm going to go and play with my layout now. Good night. Okay, Closet Ranch, I'm going to call it quits very shortly too.
Oh yeah, I forgot something. I did have some. I've had this for a long time, but I don't think I've ever shown it. But that's an Athearn Blue Box kit that I picked up at Memphis one year.
Wow.
I thought that was such a neat looking car.
It is.
You can get that done for Independence Day next year.
It looks like work.
Well, 4th of July is coming up, so I might as well do like a kit build stream or something and build.
God, I remember even seeing those going through a backyard when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute, guys. Hang on.
Yeah, you guys.
I was glad when Tangent did the Frisco hoppers because when I saw them and they was in stock, I had just seen one of them on BNSF recently at Raven Den. Still fully painted. It was not patched or anything. It was still 100% the Frisco. The only thing that they added to it was the yellow reflector stripes, and that was it. And it looked pretty good too. It's a pretty good looking car for given its age. Because Frisco's been gone now, 42 years? So 3 years longer than I've been alive. So, or 4 years longer than I've been alive. So, I mean, yeah.
They're doing a lot of pictures on locos and that over there now, aren't they? You know, like
Say it again.
They're doing a lot of like photographs and things on the sides of locos and that over there.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, take it, right.
They look really good.
CSX just did is now doing their heritage units. You know, depending on how you view that, people either love them or hate them.
I actually like it. I actually like it.
It's different. That's why I always try to say it's different.
My train club just posted a photo of that on the Facebook group.
Yeah. They just released the Seaboard engine now, so the third one. So
I don't know which one's sexier, that one or the Chessie, because they both look
the
good.
chassis engine looks good. I like it. I mean, would they look better 100% painted in their predecessor scheme? Sure, but I get what CSX is trying to accomplish with them.
Yeah, look,
it's basically pulling their history along. So
this is now the parent company, which is the cab, and this is where it came. This is the railroad where it came from. I actually like the concept. It's different. I like it.
I mean, they probably could have done a little better on the fade or on the dividing line, but I mean,
it looks good. I
mean, whatever.
They come up with, it's come up good. With the ones that Southern done, and I believe didn't UP do some as well?
Well, and I said this on another stream, Marty. NS and Canadian National set the bar so high with their heritage units that's what all these other engines, or that's what all these other railroads that's now starting to do heritage engines are being measured by.
Yeah.
That's kind of, it's good and bad. I mean,
yeah, I suppose Ohio Steam, yeah, they could have done that. But the way I'm looking at, like, I'm thinking outside the picture. Yeah, it would have been nice to see a complete chassis system or complete Baltimore, Ohio, whatnot, do the same thing as one NS done. But
Nancy said she got the install.
Railroaders know there's a history behind it. You've got the parent company. Okay, C6 maintained its cab. This is what the company is now. And then these are the heritage units. And you know they make up CSX. You know Baltimore, Ohio, C&O, LNN, Seaboard, Atlantic Coastline, and all those, they make up CSX. So that makes sense. Now, when I look at an NS engine, heritage engine, you like, well, if you're not a modeler, you won't know that they actually make up Norfolk Southern now.
And Rayron Rayron just said it right there. At least CSX is doing something.
Yeah. Instead of just having the sticker on. And it's very nice.
Yeah.
If you look outside, like, a lot of times we stop and think again, now what, like, particularly down in the area that I'm model, what C6 done is good, because I can turn around and say, now, was that railroad company a part of CSX now, or is it part of Norfolk and Southern?
And
you know, many small railroads down in the south, you didn't know which one went to where, especially in Spartanburg. I will actually, when I find the documentation of that area, there was something like about 30 different railroad companies just in Spartanburg itself. 30 different railroad companies. You know? So it's good. I like it. It's different.
Those Beatles coaches that you got, Anthony, are they were they for real, or are they just
And just to be fair, I'm not hating on these engines right here. I don't want to make it look like I'm hating on these things. These are the BNSF 25th anniversary engines. I'll try to get it out right quick.
Robin, you were asking me about my Beetle stuff.
Yes, did they actually do those coaches?
No, those are totally
fictional,
model only things designed to get us Beetle fans to spend money on trains.
Okay.
The only thing I have that's Beetles that actually existed is I have a Hornby Eurostar, which is the big high-speed train that went back and forth through the channel. And to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Yellow Submarine album and movie, they did a Yellow Submarine, and that one occurred in real life. But the rest of the Beatles stuff, it's all just knockoff.
Is that the one you're sending me?
Afraid not, John. I'm not giving these guys up.
Now this one's my belated birthday present.
Right. Yeah, these are the so-called sticker units, but and this is what BNSF did for their 25th anniversary. Now, I think it would have been cool if they'd done actual heritage units, but hey, I mean, they could have just said, hey, we're celebrating 25 years, woo, and that's it. So, I mean, at least they did something. I mean,
but as modelers, we got to stop and think. Yeah, it's nice to see them painted up in the actual heritage scheme, but it's not. It's a lot more expensive to repaint a full-size engine than it is to redo a model.
Yeah,
right.
And the cool thing with these 10 units that BNSF did, none of them are exactly alike.
No,
there's ever so slightly differences in these engines. Like 6078 here has a 3-chime horn, flush exhaust stack without the edges on them, I guess if you want to call it that. It's got this raised heat exchanger fan. The PTC antennas are a little different on some of the units. Some of them have this style, and the other ones have a different style of PTC. Like this one here doesn't have the ladders that run up the side. A couple of them do. So they're not all identical, is what I'm trying to say. But it's basically the same basic idea and scheme. So they're just ever so slight differences. Even the decals on the sides are a little different from unit to unit.
You see, to do an engine like that for BNSF, they're probably cost them probably about $1,000, if that, compared to redoing a complete engine. You know,
yeah, I'm not really sure what it would cost to paint one of these engines, a prototype version. But
say $1,000 to about $5-10 right?
Yeah,
Well,
I
not even
think
that.
it's somewhere around it. Yeah.
A lot of them would be cut out transfers. But when you look at a full size engine, you're looking at you're looking at $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 plus, if not $100,000 to repaint a full size engine.
I'll put this guy back up.
And then you got to look at how much money the railroad actually loses, what it takes, a week, 2 weeks to repaint one, or 2 weeks to repaint it. That's 2 weeks revenue that he loses, it's out the system. Where if a model, we can actually come up with our fantasy schemes or heritage schemes, and it costs us between $50 to $100 to repaint a model.
Well, and two, CSX is in a bit of a, I guess you want to call it a paradox because of the Conrail split in 1999. So a lot of those fallen flags actually fall under both CSX and NS.
Yeah.
So you would actually run the risk of having duplicate engines or duplicated paint schemes.
Yeah. But if we go and have a look at some of what was split up between Norfolk Southern and CSX, you'll actually see they actually kept the majority of the dominant engine railroad that formed that railroad before the split of Conrail. I mean, they both can have the Conrail system in them. But what actually made NS and what actually made CSX before that split?
Now, I guess, thankfully, a lot of these railroads that are in both NS and CSX's family tree, they have the original railroads had duplicate paint schemes. So I guess CSX could throw a different paint scheme on and make them different. But
exactly. But what part is Conrail did there was a map somewhere. There was a particular side of Conrail that CSX took from the Conrail family tree that doesn't clash with the Norfolk Southern side. Because you had that many different companies just making Conrail up too. Yeah. No, I'm not going to think too hard. It's going to make my brain hurt.
Well, it's just people complain about the CSX schemes, and I tell them, look, they could have done what BNSF did and just threw stickers on them and said, there you go.
No, they're good. I like it. It's a good different concept.
Yeah, it's something different. I mean, I'm not going to hate on it. I mean, could they have done better? Sure, but
yeah, because it also goes to looking at different layouts. You have a look at this layout that Anthony's got. It's one style. Then we'll go to this layout here. It looks more progress than mine is because it's.
But Artie, it's been like this for 11 years.
Oh my goodness!
But there you
go.
I
keep going down rabbit holes. Someone puts
Marty,
another thing in front of me, and then that's it. I'm down another rabbit hole, like remote control 187th cars, and
And then you
Marty, don't feel bad because my layouts look the same as it has for the past 24 years since I got it. It's just a 4x8 table with a grass mat on it.
Everybody, what I'm trying to say is everybody's got their own idea and their own concept, and hey, enjoy it. Just enjoy.
It's your railroad, do it your way.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Rule 1, as we all say.
Yeah, I mean, CSX owns those engines. I mean, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
It's
That's
You know,
one of the reasons why I like to build layouts quickly, because you don't have time for the layout baseboards to become a tabletop for everything else.
I come
Oh,
on
that's
now, Robin. There's nothing like procrastination.
Well, I mean, you know, the people that hates on those.
my problem is I always put procrastination off.
It's really about. It's really just about enjoying what you do. You know, some people like,
exactly.
you know,
It
certain
is,
parts of
but
hobby. Some people like the electronics. That's not my thing.
in any hobby, in any activity, politics, anywhere, there are people that are not happy you having fun just doing your thing your way. They want you to do it their way, and they seem to have the need to tell you you're not doing it their way, which is the right way. And those people can put people off the hobby.
Yeah.
Off.
That's it right there. Everybody, yeah.
And I dealt with, as an American who got into German trains and didn't understand or know the 3-rail system or anything about model trains, period, a few years ago, I started on the German sites. And I would go in and ask questions, and you would get on these forums, and you could maybe filter and try to find a couple of people that wanted to help you. But you had so many people like, oh, this is so stupid. Go Google the answer. You know, why are you coming in here wasting our time with a freshman level question, a 4th grade level question? Go Google it. It's like, I Googled it first and I had 10,000 answers. So I thought I'd come to the pros and see if somebody could make it clear.
That's interesting, because one of the first experiences I had when I first started getting into it after I met Bill, we were at an exhibition and I saw this layout had, oh God, such beautiful scenery on it. And I said to the guy, you know, how did you do all this? And you know what his answer was? Hey, love, it took me 20 years to figure it out. Do you reckon I'm going to tell you?
Really?
Yeah, there's a real jackass. And Robin, I hope this comes out the right way, but you being a woman put up with even more shit in a hobby like this, which is so over testosterone. That, you know, my wife, I joined a club for a little while and we left it for other reasons, but one happy outcome. My wife would go, and my wife wants to sit at the table and talk with the men, and my wife can talk sports. My wife is not the sit in the corner and let's talk shopping and new shoes and makeup. And the guys would go, wives sit over there. And they're like, why do you even bring your wife? But when the wives come, they sit over there. And my wife's like,
I could write a book on how I've been treated.
Yeah.
And admittedly, I've met some really, really great people. And, and there's been some incredibly helpful people. But Artie's seen the worst and the best of it, haven't you, from me? But the biggest problem I've got is that I can actually make a model, and that upsets people. So, and one guy said, "Oh, you're just trying to prove a point." Well, I don't have to prove a point. I'm doing it because I can. You know, and I'm happy to teach people. I run workshops, you know, to show people how to do scratch building and all that. But then you still cop flack. And in fact, I copped a lot just recently, which on top of what's happened with poor old Billy, you know, it just really knocked me around. Now I just don't know whether I'd have anything to do with clubs. I'm enjoying being with this group because it just doesn't seem to be the rubbish.
Yeah, and I've seen it in the short time I've been in the hobby. And the problem is, what I'm going to say, somebody could take it as political and it's not meant to be. But I was talking to a woman at the Toledo train show that I went to back in March. And she was talking about it being difficult being a woman in the hobby. And she goes, I don't want to sound like one of those crazy feminists, but women really get treated like crap in this hobby. And I'm like, that's why there's feminism. You know, my wife is a very strong woman, and she was an athlete. She was, you know, and she doesn't like, she doesn't want to ever be treated like a second-class citizen. And in the model train hobby, women can be treated as third-class citizens, much less second-class.
I mean, I'm fortunate. I grew up with 4 brothers, so I sort of learned to deal with it a bit. But it still doesn't make it right.
See, I was the flip side. I had 3 older sisters, and until I was finally physically big enough to hold my own, I was the repressed male. But then any male chauvinism I had went out the window the first time I watched my wife give birth. I think every 13-year-old boy should be forced to watch a woman give birth. They might not be such Neanderthal men at times if you're forced to watch a woman give birth. See that? You do that. Oh, hell no.
Yeah, I'm not going there.
Well, you know what I was getting ready to say, Anthony, that kind of stuff there, people just go around berating everybody trying to get into the hobby and everything. That's what's killing the hobby right there. It's not fantasy schemes. It's not, people buying ready to run stuff and not building nothing. It's these people that just go online, just act like jerks. That's killing the hobby.
Yeah, and
well,
and there's no winners.
I wouldn't really say it's killing it. It's because it creates more of a closet style of a hobby. What I mean is, people will just stay in their own houses and don't share the hobby out with anybody else. We're lucky we got a nice little bunch of groupie. But there are so many that are into the hobby,
right?
Particular females that like it, and they.
Okay, I got to make an obscene joke real quick.
Yeah, come on.
Nancy, I hope you take this with love, but you can do almost everything a man can do. There's one thing you can't do that a man can do: write your name in the snow.
Good on, yeah.
Don't throw that challenge.
I know where that joke's heading. Yeah.
No, that the joke is not
that challenge.
No, I know, Anthony. I know you mean well.
Yeah, you get a stick and then you drag it around in the snow and you can write your name. So no.
Well, I was specifically referring to
I'll be back on
pen, but
you haven't got it all right.
Us older guys can write in cursive.
So can I. I'm a calligrapher.
That gag was in Naruto, one of my anime shows I watched. So I know the one you're talking about, Anthony.
But and I want to take it to another level. Is with this going back to what we're talking about, Randall, is I posted a video just a week ago while I was in Germany, 2 weeks ago now. Time's flying. Where I went to the Porsche Traumwerk model railway. And it's a 45-minute video that I'm filming with a camera, okay? That I'm filming with my phone camera. And I've got so much battery life, and I'm trying to show this entire layout while I'm also turning the camera off and appreciating the thing for myself, because if all I do is see it through my camera lens. So I'm trying to look at it and walk along and I'm trying to show people as if they were walking through it. And I thought, considering my handshake issues and everything else, and I do have a built-in stabilizer into the camera, but I thought I did a pretty good job. Yes, there's a couple of cases where I am moving, but the whole idea is I'm showing you like as if your eyes were scanning across it. Yeah. I'm doing this. Now I'm taking my time. I'm making this video. I post it. It's free. It's there. You can watch it or not watch it. And some guy comments and writes me an email, and he's bitching because I couldn't even watch the damn thing. Your hand's shaking so much, moving around all the time. And I watched that video about 5 times. I'm like, where am I shaking? Where?
Yeah, if that's the video I'm thinking of, Anthony, you weren't shaking at all.
Hold the thing still and let us see what you're showing. I'm like, no, this is why it's in 4K. Hit the fucking pause button on your TV or on your phone and look at it more closely. And I'm even saying that in the video, guys. I'm going to scan through this, and if you see something really cool, it's in 4K. If you hit pause, it'll be crystal clear as a picture, and you can look at it. But this is a gigantic layout, and I've got about 45 minutes of video time to share this, and I'm trying to show everybody point A to point Z in this. And somebody just feels the need to complain. It was free. Why are you complaining? Remember the old phrase, don't look a gift horse in the mouth? If it's free, plus you have the option to turn it off and go on. But no, they got to throw a snit fit both in the comments section and in the and in an email. Well, I wasn't trying to be rude. Yeah, you were.
You didn't have to try.
Well, and two, people don't have to watch the video at all. I mean, nobody. I hate to use the term, but nobody's holding a gun to your head making you watch.
30 seconds in, if you're not liking the camera angle or the person's voice or what they're showing, click exit.
Yep.
You don't need to leave a thumbs down, although I don't care about those. It's when somebody, and we won't even talk about the helpful Henrys that, hey, let me give you a little advice about how you should do this, which, if I want your advice, I'll ask for it, is my attitude. It's people like this that can ruin any hobby or any club, when they scare people off, or they just feel the need to be critical. Like, well, I've spent 3 seconds watching your video, and that gives me the right to tell you suck, and that stuff is just for the birds.
I enjoyed that video that you did.
I'm sort of going to go off subject with this, but it's kind of in the same realm. I was watching a live stream that a guy that he's a Dragon Ball fan, does a lot of live streams and stuff like that. And he was doing a live stream where he's going through one of the chapters of Dragon Ball Super. And this guy in the chat, I can't remember who he was, but all he kept saying in the chat over and over and over again was, Dragon Ball's trash. I like One Punch Man better. And he just kept going on about it. And finally, a couple of us got tired of it. And I typed in, I'm like, dude, we get it. You don't like Dragon Ball Super. You don't have to keep reminding. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you don't have to keep reminding us that you hate it. And he said, here's the kicker, Anthony. He responded with, I just like to trash on it because I don't like, for whatever reason. I'm like, okay, but just saying it's trash doesn't help anything.
It's a mental sadism. They get off on coming in and seeing if they can push your buttons and provoke. And those I can actually handle better, because you usually spot them right away. Like, okay, this guy's just coming in to pull people's chains and push buttons. And if I know you're trying to push my button, it's easy for me to pull the switch on.
And I remember the quote. I remember the quote he was saying now. He was saying, I just like to say it's trash so I can make it better. And I said, saying it's trash doesn't help make it better. I said, all you're doing is just hating on it.
But it's the people that they don't think they're pushing buttons. Almost an entitlement, like, well, I just watched this and you've wasted a minute of my life, and I'm going to let you know I think this sucks, or you're doing that wrong, or whatever. And these are the people that they're always going to be there. So complaining about them, I guess, really accomplishes nothing. But because like in our hobby, we talk about rivet counters. We talk rivet counters. And there are people out there that will bash on rivet counters, and I'm watching their videos going, you're a rivet counter. Don't say where they deny their rivet counters. Like, I'm not a rivet counter. Yeah, you are.
Anthony, I was laughing at Mystic's comment there. He said, that was me on my burner account. Sorry, bro.
Is Artie coming back, or did we lose?
That's funny, Mystic. I like that one.
Well, he's still down in the basement, so.
What are you doing?
No, go ahead, Robin. I'm sorry. We're talking too much.
No, that's okay. What are you doing, Marty?
Putting more of these couplers together.
Oh, you can buy them ready-made, you know.
That was my thought.
How
Oh,
many,
These are the Sergeant type ones.
how many rivets in that coupler?
John.
They're not riveted, they're cast.
Yeah.
I had that same thought when Randall showed that Union Pacific hopper. I'm like, wait, you have to put that together yourself?
Yeah, it's a Athearn Blue Box kit. They're real easy. There's nothing to it.
See, if you get an old one, Randall, they come pre-assembled.
Yeah.
And this one's even got an old Hot Wheel in it. So
Hey, that's even better.
you get spoiled.
Depends on what the Hot Wheel is.
Hang on. You guys will love this one. I've had this one for a lot of years, but that's not a Hot Wheels car. That's a Racing Champions car.
Oh,
It's the Gold McDonald's car.
Oh, this is the what they call it, round and round racing.
Yeah, it's not showing up real good, but
hang
that's
on,
the old Ford Taurus.
let me see if I can enlarge you.
I need a magnifying glass.
Yeah, I don't know if even if you enlarge me, Anthony, if it's going to show up real good or not. But and the light's kind of not helping things. But
NASCAR, isn't that what they call it?
yeah, this is
NASCAR?
basically from the old Winston Cup days. But that's the 1999 Taurus. And that's Bill Elliott's car right there. This come in a 5-pack, so there's actually 5 of these cars.
And 6 years later, the 94 was a Dodge.
Yep. And I've got speaking of the 9 cars,
The only NASCARs I have are the Dodge NASCARs.
Oh, I've got one too. Hang on just a second. I'll show you one that's really cool, Anthony.
Okay, now I get to trump you. I get to trump you on that one, although I hate using that word.
At its best.
Yeah. Randall, you left.
Oh, no.
Right.
I haven't looked yet, but I got to get this car.
Anybody into cars, die-cast cars, Johnny Lightning is an old American company, been around forever. In fact, there was a time when Johnny Lightning was as big as Hot Wheels. Of course, in Europe, it's more Matchbox and stuff. But here's the cool thing. Do you see how there's a photograph of a car?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's my car.
Hey,
The car in that photograph was my 73 Dodge Charger.
what, for real?
Yep. The toy they made was based on my 73 Charger. It won the 1999 Chicago Mopar Raleigh Best in Show. And so Johnny Lightning made a toy of my car. You can actually go buy the same one on eBay anytime you want. It wasn't a one-off, but they did a little bit. So that is my 73 Charger.
So have you still got it?
No, I had to sell it a few years ago. I sold it for more than I paid for it. That's the good news. But it was either keep the car and lose the house, or sell the car and keep the house.
Yeah, I had a 351 GT, what they call XP hardtop Falcon,
Okay.
and paid about $4,000 for it, and now they're worth about 70 or 80,000.
I had to kind of clean this one up, Anthony, but there's one of mine. Of course, I got a lot of Richard Petty cars, but
The number
That's,
9, Casey Kane.
that's Casey Kane's 9 car.
Yeah, I gave all my Dodge NASCARs to Kyan, so he
Yeah.
puts them upstairs.
The packaging's kind of yellowed a little bit. So it's kind of sat on the wall over time, but I try to keep this one in the package because it's such an unusual car. And it's kind of one of those one-off paint schemes. So, and I've got a lot of Richard Petty. Yeah, I've got one of those too. Only mine's blue.
You know, a Super B.
Dodge
Is that
Daytona.
the Daytona? The Dodge Daytona? Or is
That's
that
the
the
Daytona,
Superbird?
but in that style, it would have been called the Super B.
Okay.
Why don't you put these on your layout instead of leaving them in the packets?
Because it's the wrong scale.
Oh, you're talking cuss words now.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, opening opening up certain things totally devalues them.
I've got like 5,000 Hot Wheels still in the package.
But I do have a 187 scale Dodge Charger that even though my layout is based in Germany, this is on my layout. I had to put a Dodge Charger in there somewhere.
There'll be one floating around. There'll be one floating around in Europe somewhere.
Oh, actually, Dodge Charger, the largest model, or not model, the largest car club based on American cars is the Dodge Charger clubs over in Europe. There's a huge one in Germany, a couple in Germany, a couple of them in Denmark. There's an original 60s. Oh wait, no, that's the Ford Talladega.
Yeah,
and I do have one of a model of a 164 scale of Richard Petty's Dodge Charger. So that's a pretty cool one, the STP car.
this is just one. This is a small tote, but that whole corner of the room is Hot Wheels and totes. But I got a whole nother room in the house that's full of Hot Wheels. Totes full.
You will see him come into some of these chats, but I have a friend who lives here in Ohio, model train guy. His channel, and Randall, I know you've talked to him, but he's Tom's Merklin, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I've talked to him in the chats. Yeah.
Yep. He has 30,000 132nd, 118th, 124th, 143 scale collectible cars in the boxes.
Tom's Marklin, if you're watching this, I'm about you.
30,000 of them.
Yeah, I love the race cars too. Like this truck goes on the racetracks.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
And then I
always wanted one of those sets, but Santa never brought it. Same with my Hornby Spirit of Progress set.
Here's my HO ones. So there's the HO cars right there, the NASCARs. They're still in the package. What I was going to do with these, I was going to buy a bunch of these, and then buy one of those Walther's Auto Racks, the open ones, and fill them up with these cars. That's sort of a little bit of an inside joke where when the train goes by, it's got an auto rack full of NASCAR cars on it. So I may still do that eventually.
this here is my case of HO
Postmodern.
race cars. Those are all slot cars.
Yeah, some of those worth some money too, John.
Well, I've had these since some in here I've had, I went to the mall and bought them. Here's one of my originals from when I was a kid. Ain't got no tires.
Yeah,
But
I remember.
I got plenty of parts to fix them, and
I remember that there was a XA Falcon, Ford Falcon made in that scale, Robin, and I brought it for my brother because I've got him.
Hey, Postmodern Mall Works.
I bought him the Bathurst racing car set and got a couple of Australian. I had the HQ not Commodore, Kingswood, and our XA Falcon to race on the track. But unfortunately, my brother he destroyed it. And you think you can find another one like it now? It's almost impossible. It's like trying to find diamonds.
Yeah, I've got a model of my car that I had. But yeah, I've always liked hot cars.
I don't know if I already saw this one out. These little guys here to make great. These little racing champions cars. And it's kind of one thing I hate about modern NASCAR now. Used to, you could buy these cars from Hot Wheels, from Racing Champions, Winner's Circle. You could buy them from, 3 or 4 different manufacturers. Now they're just down to one. They got an exclusive rights with Lionel, which, what do I do with those HO cars? Oh, I now lost them now. Anyway, Lionel's making all the NASCAR stuff now. So
Huh. Interesting.
that's kind of unfortunate. I kind of wish it would kind of be like back in the days where you had 3 or 4 choices. But
Yeah, a lot of them.
I love these gold cars too. So
Actually, that's not a bad idea. What you come up with,
yeah, I've actually got 2 of these already. I've got this one, and then there's a 50th anniversary NASCAR Pontiac that's the same size as this car that I've got as well. And then, of course, I got the couple of John Andretti cars, the 43 cars.
I like the old Matchbox. This one's an Impy, and it's a Fiat car, but I like the old Matchbox because they're more closer HO. This is kind of big, but I like the old style, and I don't even know.
Matchbox is good too, John.
I don't even know what company Impy is, but I know it's old. This has got to be from the 60s.
Yeah.
With those
I
kind of
remember the name.
late 60s, early
Yeah,
30s.
if I think if you look on the bottom, John it should have the year they're made.
Yeah,
at least Hot Wheels did that. So
I got a lot of Matchbox. They're all up in a different room, but
To answer Mystic's question, when I get my layout up and what am I going to run? What am I going to mainly run? It'd be a flick of. It'd be
Anthony.
It'd be a. It'd be.
It's working. See, it's working, Artie.
It's gonna be a it'd be sort of like a what I feel like running at the time. Would it be Australian, where it's gonna be American, where it's gonna be steam era? It's gonna be a mix. The layout's not based all on American, it's not based all on American or Australian or whatever. I'm gonna run whatever. I'm going to run steam with
Thomas the Tank Engine. He's going to run Thomas the Tank Engine.
My layout is.
I can't run Thomas the Tank Engine on my set.
I'm going to run whatever the viewer sends me. If the viewer sends me a brand new engine, I'm going to run that way, and I'm going to say thank you every time.
Yeah, I'll do that too. But no, all I've got is 3 cars at the moment. Yeah, I've only got 3. I've got the Sidetrack Sunday car. I've got Crooked River Eastern's car now. And I've got Tammy and Ray's mum and son's carry. So that's 3.
I'm going to send Artie a wind-up so he gets his exercise.
Marty's doing a tram. Which tram is that? Victorian, no doubt.
Of course.
Ooh.
It's an
Who
A1.
makes that one?
A1.
Who?
3D printed.
That's cool.
And the base is built to take a Bowser mechanism. So I've got the mech for it.
So what? Hang on.
The
What was
working
that?
trolley poles.
Bowser.
This 3D kit's made by Tramworks in Melbourne. And they do Brisbane trams, Sydney trams, Adelaide trams.
Oh, wow.
But
Nice
yeah, it's
clean-
quite
nice
a
clean
neat little
custom.
print.
What was that, Marty?
It's quite a neat little print. It's fairly clean.
Yeah,
Yeah, for a 3D print. I mean, it's obvious it's a 3D print, but yeah, it's very clean.
So I'll be doing this one like a Mark 1 with, because it comes with pantographs. But I've got the trolley pole, so I'll put the, because
that's
in
cool.
1983 they still had trolleys. That's when these came out.
Yeah. Yeah, they were painted up as orange when they came out originally.
Orange and grey roof.
Yeah.
So is that like a W or something that they call it?
No,
Is that-
W's a blue and gold. It's a wooden tram. It's the centre drop tram.
Yeah, the W is before it.
So, yeah, I was quite impressed with the cast. So I've just ordered another one of them. So,
Was it very dear?
he does an SW2 as well. So I've ordered one of them.
Howdy, Eric.
Hi, Eric.
Because I will have trams on the layout eventually.
Yeah, obviously. Oh, wow.
So,
Yes.
TCS make a version of the M1 Dakota made for street cars.
Yeah.
So I'll pick up a couple of those when I'm over in Texas. But they're good because you, when you're coming up to a tram stop, you just hit F6 and it automatically stops the tram, puts the brake lights on, does the stop, waits for a while, and then starts to take back off to the normal speed again.
So, Marty, that drive unit that you've got, that you said it was a Bowser.
Yeah, these come from Bowser.
Was that? Oh man! So they're motorized, or is one end motorized?
The kit he sells is a static model. But if you want to motorize it, you can get a drive kit from Bowser, and the base he makes will actually fit it.
Can I ask a personal question, Marty? What was the kit worth?
$140.
Shit, that's all right.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So is that the only model that he does, or does he do other?
No, he does Adelaide trams, Brisbane trams, Sydney trams.
Okay.
Tram World is the name of the website.
Okay.
But, and they're all the same. They're all static models that he sells, but you can motorize them if you want.
Yeah, I can adopt them to the Australian system when they've got the third rail now on the middle of the road. But yeah, that's pretty good actually. Particularly if you're doing the city scene, like in the Melbourne city scene, it'd be really, really good. Actually, that'd be good for you for the project you're working on, Robin.
Yeah, not HO though.
Hey, in HO.
Are you talking about the ON30 job that I've got to do?
No, I'm talking about how you doing the layout, and you also want, but you were talking about doing the city scene, like around.
Oh yeah, that's it's N scale though. This is HO.
Oh well, you're just gonna have to go up a bit, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm just gonna vacuum form some shells and put them on some mechs that I've already got.
Yeah.
Make up a plug and back form them, and then mask and spray. So that'll be all right. I've got to do some trains to run around on it, like suburban stock. So I was going to do the Velocity, Victorian Velocity train, because I like that. That was really cool. But they're really long, 82 feet they are. They're huge. So anyway.
Well, I found another guy down in Melbourne who does the Tate sets, Harris. The Tates, Harrises, and Hitachis with 3D printing. And the Hitachis are really neat because he does the Mark 1 and the Mark 2. And the Mark 1 had the walk-through door at the front.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they didn't have that many of them though. They didn't have that many of them with a walk-through.
Nah.
Door at the front.
But they're he's made his so the chassis will accept an Athern mech.
Yeah.
So you can just strip the Athern mech down and mount that in there. But they're only a 3-car set's $150.
That's good. Yeah. Have you? I don't know if you're still here, but have you seen what Thomas Grassus did to The Comedge cars. Here's
No.
3D printed that up, and I tell you what, you know how yeah. I tell you what, he's going to make a lot of Melbourne prototype and river counters cringe. Because what he's done is he's modified it by giving it 2 pantographs on it.
Good.
I love the way he was singing, but I'm looking. Okay, yeah, that would be different. Yeah, hey, it's his train. He can do whatever he wants.
It's my railroad.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You know, when it's getting close to 12:30, I do. Is that even though I want to stay a little bit longer, I've got to get my butt in the gear because time's ticking. Because I've got to get some work done, and I've got to go down to Richard to pick up those turnouts. Anthony, thank you. Welcome back. Thank you for helping out, and
Glad to be back.
yeah, about bloody time, mate. You know, it was hard looking after this show all on my own. I can't do it without you.
Well, you managed to do just fine without me.
Yeah,
I'm just glad the door was still open, that you hadn't changed the passcode.
No. You still got the master key. You know that, and you're the second in command here. But yeah, it's good to have you back. Everybody go out and check out his ventures, what he's posted up. All the other ones is on my OnlyFans page. On all the sorry, you catch
Yeah,
that.
I really like that steam.
Sorry, I
engine.
already had to leave. Yeah, I had to leave for a little bit. I had to do a quick wardrobe change so I get ready to go work. So
Yeah, it's all right. We're going to call it quits. But yeah,
All
it's
right.
great to have you back. We'll start in due course. We'll start talking about your trip to here next year. I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm looking forward to being in Australia. I'm not looking forward to the flight.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
It's all right.
Just
stay
take
up
the
the night.
train, Anthony. You'll be able to sleep on the train.
How long's the flight, Anthony?
What's that?
Where are you flying to first?
I don't know yet. We haven't booked that trip. I've still got the UK trip in October to book, and then we'll start looking at getting to Australia.
But we will talk.
We're closer to the East Coast, so we're going to have to fly to somewhere like San Francisco and catch a secondary flight wherever else. I don't know if it'll be 3 flights or 2.
Yeah. But we'll talk
Well, I
about
flew
it.
from here to
see our Vivid Light Festival next June, because you're talking about being June. Then I'm going to have to book. We'll spend 2 nights up in Sydney. I'll have to book in the motel for us up in Sydney before Christmas. Only because they'll sell out pretty quick. It's a long train trip. If you end up being like what happened to me, falling asleep on the train.
I hate flying. I have been flying for 20 years and I don't get better. I hate it. I hate being on planes. And if there's turbulence, I have heart attacks.
Well,
you couldn't even get me on a plane. I'll tell you so.
I'm flying to Dallas in a couple of weeks for the convention, and I fly from here down to Sydney, and then it's 15 hours in the toothpaste tube.
15 hours is not too bad.
15 hours to get there, but the worst one I did a Perth to London, which was 19.
No, bugger that. I mean, even the Sydney to New York flight's going to be 19 plus hours.
I just get on the plane. I don't go to bed the night before. I stay up the night before. I get on the plane. By the time we get up, they get up and they give you your food and all that, and you have a drink. That's it. I'm out like a light, and I usually don't wake up till I get there.
I'm 6'4". And I fly economy class because I can't afford first class.
Yep.
And there's no such thing as me being able to sleep on a plane.
I'm about the same size as you, but I sleep on a plane by always getting the exit row seats. Pay the extra, and then you got no one in front of you.
Yeah, I've had have paid for what they call the progressive economy seats, where you get more leg room.
And if you
And,
fly
I can't sleep on planes. I have too much. I have too much nerves. I don't.
If you fly economy on Air New Zealand, they have a thing called the airbed. And what you do is you buy a row of seats. So if it's you and Joyce going, you buy the internal seat, and they've got an attachment that goes in that then makes the whole seat into a bed. It takes it out over where your legs would be.
My goal is to really talk my doctor into giving me the strongest sleeping pill allowed.
They're good. If you're going to Kiwi land first, go Air New Zealand.
Yeah.
And
What you can do with
the airbed.
Yeah, you can even do with United, I think.
No, Kiwi's the only one that does it.
Yeah, at the moment. But Kiwi Air.
We'll cross that ocean when we get.
When we come to it. But anyway, again, I have to call it quits. Because
Knocking off early.
Yeah, well, I've got to get some work done. I've got no room at the moment for my laptop in the training room. All the jobs are spread out everywhere, and the roundhouse is the roundhouse is actually now on the table where I work on, so I can put the interior lights. And I've got to start doing all the framing for the layout. I've got to go down to Richards to pick up some turnouts from him. And I'll try to catch up to everybody in a week. I've got another busy week ahead of me with running around, and I really got to get this layout going. And I'll see everybody when I can during the week. If not, I'll see you guys next weekend. Thank you, everybody, for coming up.
Thanks, Artie.
For popping in and hanging out and being nuts and crazy. And this guy's got a 3D print of somebody.
That's Marty.
That's Marty.
Me.
Yeah, that's his mini Prince Marty.
Yeah.
So going to Texas, what I'm going to do is
there he goes. He's gone fine.
I've got a dozen of these I'm going to be painting up.
Yeah.
And as I go on layout tours and the likes, well, there might be a little me left behind.
Is that your magnifying glass on his head?
Yes, the Optivisor on my head.
Oh, no.
So Bernard scanned it when I was over in Springfield.
Yeah, well, I'll be going to Springfield this year. And, I've finally got my mini prints from 2021 order. Finally got them. While you're away, Anthony. Eventually gets there. So anyway, everyone, thanks a lot. I'm not going to be hanging around after the show, so I'm going to get going.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Everybody, nice to see everybody. Take care.
Stay safe during the week. All you Americans that are going to set off all those fireworks, please stay safe. Don't blow each other
that's
up.
Right. It's the day they threw the tea in the ocean, isn't it? Just decided they didn't want to pay their taxes.
They're,
exactly.
Lighting them up right now. It sounds like World War III outside.
So anyway, guys, thank you very kindly. And yourselves and be good, and see you next time.
See you guys. Have a good week.
Bye.
Have fun. Glad to see you back home, Anthony.